The Weight of Silence, Tammy Slaton, Skin Removal, and the Unspoken Farewell to 1,000 LB Sisters. The Florida sun, harsh and revealing, beat down on a scene Tammy Slaton once might have only dreamed of. Leaning against the railing of a balcony, she wasn't confined to a wheelchair. She stood, clad in vibrant, form-fitting clothes that would have been impossible just years ago. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. The most striking feature? Not the lingering puffiness or surgical tape, but the sheer presence of her body, reshaped, contoured, liberated from the crushing burden of excess skin. This was Tammy Slaton, post-massive skin removal surgery, a testament to staggering willpower and a transformation documented relentlessly by TLC's 1,000 LB Sisters. Yet, amidst the undeniable triumph radiating from her social media posts, a different kind of weight seemed to settle, the heavy, unspoken implication that Season 8 might be the chapter TLC chooses not to write. Tammy's journey, broadcast into millions of living rooms since 2020, was never just about weight. It was a raw, unfiltered, and often painfully relatable saga of familial bonds strained to breaking point, of generational trauma manifesting in physical form, of addiction, to food, to unhealthy patterns, and the agonizingly slow, frequently interrupted crawl towards redemption. From the early days where 600-plus-pound Tammy struggled with basic mobility, reliant on her sister Amy and often resistant to change, to the shocking decline that landed her on a ventilator fighting for her life, viewers weren't just spectators, they became reluctant witnesses to a life teetering on the edge. Her eventual commitment, the move to rehab, the slow, arduous shedding of pounds, culminating in her qualifying for life-altering bariatric surgery, formed a narrative arc so compelling it felt scripted, yet its brutal honesty confirmed it was painfully real. Season 7 felt like a culmination. The central, agonizing question, will Tammy survive? Had been answered with a resounding, miraculous yes. More than survive, she thrived. We saw her walk unaided, revel in newfound independence, embrace dating, culminating in her marriage to Caleb Willingham, and radiate a confidence previously buried under layers of physical and emotional weight. Her weight plummeted, reportedly reaching the coveted 300-pound range, a number once seeming as distant as the moon. The season finale wasn't just an ending, it felt like a hard-won victory lap. Tammy had conquered her Everest. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Then came the surgery, the final, brutal, yet necessary step. Excess skin, a cruel reminder of the past and a physical impediment to the future, had to go. The procedures were extensive, complex, carrying their own significant risks. Tammy documented the lead-up, the anxieties, the preparations, the farewell to her apron. And then, silence. Followed by the triumphant reveal, standing tall, visibly transformed, radiating relief and pride. I finally feel free in my own body, her posts seemed to scream. It was the physical manifestation of her internal metamorphosis. But woven subtly through these posts of celebration and recovery were threads of something else. A quietude about the show itself. Fans, accustomed to near-constant updates and filming teases during the off-season, noticed a distinct lack of buzz. Where were the hints of production starting? The usual sightings of camera crews around the Slaton family? The cryptic social media interactions between the sisters hinting at ongoing drama for the cameras? Then came the comments, seemingly innocuous yet loaded with implication. Responding to eager fans asking about Season 8, Tammy's replies shifted. Instead of the vague "we'll see," or "tune in," of previous years, a new refrain emerged. I'm not sure, I don't know if it's happening, haven't heard anything, I think our journey has been told. These weren't definitive cancellations announced via press release. They were quieter, more personal, tinged with a sense of closure emanating from the star herself. It was Tammy, seemingly from her heart and her current perspective, suggesting the story TLC set out to tell, the story of two sisters battling extreme obesity against overwhelming odds, had reached its natural, triumphant conclusion. Her story, the most perilous and dramatic thread, had transformed beyond the show's original premise. She wasn't the 1,000-pound sister fighting for her next breath anymore, she was Tammy Slaton, survivor, thriver, navigating life post 300 pounds, post-skin removal, post-near-death experience. Why would Season 8 be the end? The logic is compelling. 1. The core narrative arc is complete. The central dramatic tension, Tammy's survival and weight loss journey, achieved an almost unbelievable resolution. Her qualifying for and undergoing skin removal surgery was the literal and metaphorical shedding of the final layer of her old self. Documenting recovery, while potentially interesting, lacks the inherent life-or-death stakes that fueled earlier seasons. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. 2. Shifting dynamics. Amy, the other titular sister, has also undergone significant life changes. Her own weight loss journey, while ongoing, reached major milestones earlier. Her focus shifted dramatically towards motherhood, with 2 young sons, Gage and Glenn, and navigating the complexities of her divorce from Michael. Her story, while still relatable, is now firmly in the mom life and post-divorce realm, a different genre than the extreme weight loss struggle that defined the show's inception. 3. Tammy's newfound independence. A crucial element of the show's drama was Tammy's dependence on Amy, on family, on caregivers. Her transformation includes fierce independence. She lives independently, with Caleb until his tragic passing, makes her own choices, travels. This independence inherently reduces the forced proximity and friction that fueled much of the family dynamic central to the show. A healthy, independent Tammy is wonderful for her, but potentially less conducive to the conflict-driven reality TV format. 4. The weight of the journey. Filming a reality show is intrusive and demanding. After 7 seasons of laying bare their most vulnerable, painful, and embarrassing moments, the Slatons, particularly Tammy, who endured the most intense scrutiny, might simply be ready to step away from the constant cameras. Tammy's comments about her journey being told suggest a desire for privacy as she enters this radically new chapter of her life. She's earned the right to live without documenting every doctor's appointment or family spat. 5. Caleb's passing. The tragic death of Tammy's husband, Caleb Willingham, in mid-2023 added an immense layer of personal grief. While his illness was briefly touched upon in Season 7, navigating profound loss and widowhood is an intensely private journey. Filming this raw grief might feel exploitative, and Tammy may understandably need space away from production to heal. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. 6. Evolution of the franchise. TLC might feel the show has naturally run its course. They successfully documented an unprecedented transformation. Pushing further risks becoming repetitive, Tammy and Amy go to the doctor, again, or veering into manufactured drama that feels inauthentic to the genuine struggle viewers connected with. The network might prefer to end on the high note of Tammy's surgical milestone. This isn't to diminish the potential stories left. Tammy maintaining her weight loss, navigating dating again after Caleb, potential cosmetic procedures, her evolving relationship with Amy as they both settle into very different lives, the antics of Chris Combs and Amanda. These are valid life chapters. But do they constitute the core narrative that 1000 LB Sisters was built upon? The title itself becomes increasingly incongruous as Tammy moves further and further away from that staggering number. The show was anchored in the extreme physical and emotional challenges of super obesity. Its stars have, remarkably, moved beyond that anchor point. Tammy's social media hints feel like a quiet acknowledgement of this reality. It's not necessarily disappointment, but perhaps resignation mixed with pride. Her statements carry the weight of someone who has crossed a finish line and is looking ahead to a different path, one she might wish to walk without a camera crew. It's the subtext screaming louder than any official announcement, "I did it. The hardest part is over. This chapter is closed." The legacy of the show and Tammy's triumph. If Season 8 is indeed cancelled, it shouldn't overshadow Tammy Slaton's extraordinary achievement. Her journey stands as one of the most remarkable documented in reality television history. She stared down mortality, clawed her way back from the brink, shattered the expectations of doctors and viewers alike, and reclaimed her life with a tenacity that borders on the superhuman. The skin removal surgery wasn't cosmetic vanity, it was the final liberation, the removal of the physical shackles of her past. 1000 LB Sisters, for all its chaotic family dinners and heated arguments, served a purpose beyond entertainment. It offered an unflinching look at the devastating realities of food addiction and super-obesity, the shame, the isolation, the physical agony, the complex family entanglements. It showed the immense difficulty of change, the frequent setbacks, and the sheer grit required to overcome a seemingly insurmountable challenge. It fostered empathy, challenging viewers to see the human beings beneath the weight. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Tammy's seeming confirmation of the show's end, therefore, isn't a failure, it's a testament to her success. The show existed because of the sisters' condition. Its potential ending is a direct result of Tammy conquering that condition. The narrative reached its climax. The hero survived the ordeal and emerged transformed. Continuing might feel like an unnecessary epilogue, or worse, risk undermining the power of the completed story. The silence from TLC is telling. The lack of renewal announcements while other franchises soldier on speaks volumes. Combined with Tammy's own increasingly definitive-sounding comments, the writing appears to be on the wall, etched not in the dramatic confrontations of earlier seasons, but in the quiet satisfaction of a woman standing freely on her balcony, finally at home in her own skin. The final scene of 1000 LB Sisters may not air on TLC. It may be playing out right now on Tammy Slaton's Instagram, a woman, once defined by her weight and her proximity to death, now simply living. Breathing freely. Looking towards a future unwritten by producers, but shaped entirely by her own hard-won strength. The cancellation of Season 8, if confirmed, wouldn't be an abrupt stop, it would be the fade out on a story that reached its most powerful, redemptive ending possible. Tammy Slaton didn't just lose weight, she shed an entire narrative of despair and stepped into a silence that speaks volumes about her victory. And that, perhaps, is the most satisfying conclusion of all. Subscribe the channel to get such videos.